and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and you may see we started this koala down here last week on the WIP and Waffle, but it is a round and it is not a big round, and yeah, I seem to have ploughed my way through it. What I ended up doing was I think I finished off the rest of the strip that we did over the weekend, and I may have done sort of the next strip. I actually did these in rows of 5. I did use my multi-placer, especially for the pink background, not as much for the flowers and stuff, but occasionally I did. So I actually found I was doing a full strip. There was a couple of evenings I couldn't do any, but there was plenty that I could. So therefore, he's nearly finished. So last night, when I was diamond painting, I thought, let's do the background and then we can finish him together. Because partly I wanted to see you know, be with you lot while he got finished. But also because I'm going to do some of my paint gem minis. So next week I'll do a paint gem mini while I'm waiting for him to be de-kitted and my next one kitted up. But in the meantime, I've also finished my paint gem retro. I have been toying with my YouTube schedule a few times, and I have moved my YouTube schedule a couple of times from de-kitting Koala first so I can kit up my next big one to actually de-kitting retro first because it was the first one I finished. So therefore it technically should be the first one that I de-kit. So I flipped between the two of those. And I think I've ultimately settled on I am going to de-kit the paint gem first because I do enjoy getting more of walking in the rain done in the interim. So I did, after I'd finished doing the background of this last night, I did do a little bit more of my paint gem, my walking in the rain as well. So I have done some of that, so there will be some extra progress for Thursday's WIP and Waffle, which I find ends up being quite nice when there's a bit of sort of extra progression on the Thursday WIP and Waffle as well as on the Sundays. So yeah, I say I've toyed with the schedule a bit, but I do enjoy working on walking in the rain. So I thought, well, it's the way the cookies crumbled, should we say, and you know, paint gem retro. Have I got it? Actually, I think it's getting de-kitted this week, so I will be de-kitting that this weekend, and I'll kit up another paint gem so that I have one ready to go, because I've also been working on doors. What I tended to find is because I'm multi-placing on this koala, I will let you know about this pen in a minute, by the way. I'm on a little mini update roll. Let me turn those off. But yeah, because because I've worked on sort of a strip of this and I have been multi-placing, I sometimes have found that I've still had a little bit of diamond painting left in me, and rather than continue on another strip of koala, I've actually been working on my paint gem doors, and I don't have too many of those left either. So we'll work on one of those next week, I think, for the WIP and Waffle, and then the week after it will be whatever paint gem mini set I kit up week after next, and then I will dekit Koala and kit up a new one, and we'll work on whatever the new one may be. So yeah, it's all fun and games. But yeah, it's been a very productive diamond painting week because it's not launch week, I think is the reason. It took me a little bit to get started on Koala. So he was kitted up on a Tuesday video. I didn't even start him until the Sunday WIP and Waffle. But then I finished him in a week, or will have done, once I've got these diamonds placed. But yeah, Kenny's a cutie. The pen I'm using today was gifted to me by P Jelly. Isn't it absolutely gorgeous? So I thought it would very much suit one of our stock colour pink trays, and it's a crocheted flower. They also sent me another one of their pens. I love their pens. The other one has ended up in the shop. This one is for my craft room, and I've actually brought it to my craft room. So thank you ever so much to Lady Dax and P Jelly for both of these. This pen is absolutely gorgeous and I'm loving using it. I'm actually using some putty in it. It is the standard brass tip, but I decided to pop some putty in it instead of a glue dot. I prefer the glue dots in the metal pen tips than the plastic ones, but I didn't want to cause any damage to the pen by changing the pen tip over, so I've just popped putty in instead. But I hope everybody is having a wonderful week, having a productive week. It's actually quite sunny here today. It's not warm in any way, shape or form, but it is sunny and looking a bit fresh. I'm sure I heard somebody jet washing maybe their patio or something this morning, even though it has rained and the ground is still wet. But I think there are definitely other people that are feeling the benefits of the sun around here. That's for sure. So yeah, I'm hoping for a very productive day today. We've got lots and lots of things going on in the background for both new stock items, a couple of which I'm very excited about, and yeah, advent items as well, which excite me every time. We're finally getting the last final details sorted, and then it's just a lot of prep work to do. But yeah, it's all in all, it is a good week. I can't believe it's nearly the end of February already though. I never quite know where February goes. It's that missing month. It just disappears and I don't quite know where. But comments, questions, etc. I do have a couple from my last Paint Gem WIP and Waffle, where I actually worked on retro. It's working quite well with the Paint Gem WIP and Waffles. I'm working on different sets each time so far, which I think is quite nice. Sort of gives a little bit of variety, and I am working my way through diamond paintings, which is also good because that's my goal for this year. Right. Oh no. See, I thought I was done. Everybody's probably shouting at me. There's still a few. But I've spotted them before we're done for good. I think I'm going to do 8 and W first and do these lighter colours. But I have loads of diamonds left for this one. The letter F, which was my background colour of 818. I also have a full tub left. So I think I'm definitely going to have plenty of diamonds for this one. Definitely get enough extras. Gillian, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she just found me last week. Hello. She says she bought her first diamond painting 3 years ago and only did a small amount. She said she loves watching my videos and she's just purchased some paint gems to start her off again. They're a nice one, the paint gems, because you get the satisfaction of having completed diamond paintings. It gives you that extra little boost, and they're just, frankly, they're just so cute. She says she's just placed a second order with me for some new bits and pieces. She says thank you. She's excited for a fresh start. I am sure you will have the time of your life. I think sometimes that can happen with a sort of new craft, should we say, new craft and or new hobby. It can be something that you can do and enjoy, but then, you know, life takes over, whether it be with your general day-to-day stuff that you do or whether it be with other crafts that you did beforehand, and you find you don't get to dedicate as much time to a new craft, and then all of a sudden you're sort of like, oh, actually I really did enjoy that, and you sort of go in again for the second time, but find that it becomes a firm favourite and becomes a stable part of your life, which is always fun. Sometimes the second time round is a bit more fun than the first, because you have a basic understanding that time round, and when it comes to the second, you're just like, oh yes, I know this is going to be for me, none of this unsure aspect, and you've already learned some of the basics, so the rest becomes fun to learn, which is always good. Mysterious Days, she says she lives in South of America. She says, and while she hears about everyone else getting tons of snow, she said she gets so jealous because she grew up in Florida, so she hasn't really had much experience with it. She says, and she wants it. All I can say on the topic of snow, it's one of those, the grass is always greener on the other side, or the ground is always beautiful and snow covered on the other side. Living with it is a little bit of a different matter, because snow tends to at some point turn into ice, and getting the day-to-day stuff done, having to wrap up like multiple layers of clothing just so that you don't absolutely freeze. It's sort of, the novelty wears off a little bit, should we say. So I would suggest, rather than dreaming of living somewhere with snow, take holidays to somewhere that snows. Enjoy it for the short amount of time, and then enjoy the fact that you get the sunshine at home. She says she's behind on my WIP and waffles. She said since she always has to diamond paint along with them. She said lately when she's been diamond painting, it's on the phone with her best friend, so she doesn't play the videos at the same time. She says, but last night she did finish one of her 30 by 40 WIPs. And she'll post it in the group. She says she's now working on the Art Dot Rainbow Butterflies painting. She says she is struggling though, as it does have blurry symbols. And that's one I've not done yet. She says, and without a light pad. She said, without a light pad, it's a bit better as long as the light is low. She says she's trying to work through some of her budget pieces to reward herself with premium kits. And she has Cosmic Trip as a final reward for completing her WIP backlog. I like the idea of a reward when completing your backlog. It's like little treats to yourself. It's, you know, it's our decisions to make, and we could override these and say, no, this is what I enjoy, this is what I'm doing. But sometimes I feel like things are even better if you do sort of reward yourself for something. Maybe it's just a reminder of childhood, or maybe that's the reason it does work for children, because it works for us adults as well. We just don't always set ourselves these goals and rewards because we don't have to. And we go, no, I don't have to, and push past it. But no, you will love Cosmic Trip when it gets to the point that you can do it. Okay, now on to comments from when we started Kenny the Koala last week. Seems so weird that we're finishing Kenny the Koala so quick. But then again, it's good to have a few quick wins at the beginning of the year. Help me get through some of my stash, you know, at some sort of decent speed as such. Not that I'm wanting to necessarily rush the process, but I do get the satisfaction of starting, I get the satisfaction of completing, I get to break down, and I get the excitement of kitting up a new one all as well. Blossom Chops says she is loving these decision wheel ideas. Yes, there's been a little bit of a mixed review over the comments with decision wheels. Most do seem in the favour of, you know, the different decision wheel ideas to sort of help decide what I'm going to do. And there are quite a few that are like, make your own decisions. And yes, there is an element, I perfectly have the right to make my own decisions. However, I have multiple reasons for doing different paintings, and I can never decide, should we say, which is the more important, or which is the one that I want to go to. And I really enjoy the excitement of the decision wheel choosing for me. Sometimes it may not choose one that I am necessarily woohoo giddy excited over, but that doesn't mean I don't enjoy it all the same. All the paintings I have in my stash are paintings I want to do, paintings pictures I enjoy, from my small budget ones to my bigger premium ones. I enjoy them all, and I enjoy them all for different reasons. This koala has been a really fun, cute one. I've kept him in my stash because he's cute and adorable. I like doing rounds as much as I like doing squares. And he's a quick one, which, you know, has benefits for different reasons. I get to see him come to life quite quickly, especially because I've multi-placed the background, as you can tell. So he's, you know, bigger than a Paint Gem Mini, but it's got the same sort of feel of a sense of achievement fairly quickly. And while it may not be one that's necessarily made me giddy, it's still a diamond painting that I have enjoyed doing. And it's nice to do a different company one as well. I've not done a Kaiser one before. I did get quite a few from Kaiser. I probably got too many, so I have done some in giveaways, but I was never going to give away all of them. I was just whittling down my stash, say, to the ones that I love by putting some in giveaways. All Things Crafty by Kaz, she says, good afternoon, Rebecca. She says she hopes all is well with me. It is, thank you. It's been a productive week, which is what always makes me feel good. She says she loves Kenny the Koala. She said he's cute. He is. He's an adorable little boy. She says, good news, her mum was discharged from the hospital after 12 days. That's fantastic. She says, methinks she is happy to be home. I'm sure she is. It is very, very long days when you're in the hospital. That is for sure. She says she's certainly glad that she's home, and she's finally going back to work this week after 3 weeks. There is something to be said for a sense of normality, isn't there? With no dramas. No dramas. Sometimes not even anything that's exciting. But sometimes, especially after a few weeks where it's been stressful, it's nice to have, should we say, the mundane, because I think there are elements that are anything but mundane. It's stabilising is what it is. Darcy, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she has 2 rhinestone paintings arriving soon from Kudiels. She's also got special funnels from Bella Art, and one more Temu order. She says the last one was an Ups order. She says, twitchy finger. I've been tempted by a few recently. The only thing, I have bought diamond paintings this year. I have bought the new Paint Gem mini sets. I think even if I was doing a no buy, it wouldn't include those anyway, because I just love the concept of them, and I just love having them to do. Even some of the sets that I'm not as personally keen on, because I enjoy the process so much. It doesn't matter to me that the images, you know, may not be my top choices, should we say, because I just love the process of the little pictures coming to life. So I do have some of those. Apart from that, I have been good. I do still look at Dreamer Designs and Diamond Art Club and Diamond Art Studio when they do new releases. There is definitely some Diamond Art Studio that I love the look of. There's also been at least one Diamond Art Club. Dreamer Designs, there are some gorgeous designs, none that have made me waver quite so much yet. However, I do tend to find with Dreamer Designs, they are either that's a nice image or I have to have. There's no in between, no a little bit unsure with Dreamer Designs at the moment. Their artwork is fantastic. But I do still have an unboxing to do for Dreamer Designs, which is one I bought between Christmas and New Year, and I do still have a couple of Diamond Art Studio, so I'll still get to add some to my stash that I've had since before Christmas, that will keep that, you know, feeling of buying a new diamond painting alive. Cat Lady, she says she has been sorting out her diamond paintings and she has made the decision to pass on her old 40 by 30 round drill ones. She said when she first started, she went a bit over the top with Christmas paintings, and she's going to be donating hers to a local craft group. Get a few more people hooked. Good way to do it. She says she's tempting to pass on all her spare round drills too. She says she has possibly 6 large round paintings to complete, but the rest are all square. She says she's not planning on buying any more round paintings. Oh, grab 2 there. Bonus. She has 7 large. She said average size is 50 by 50, but she's packed them all away for now while she tries to organise jobs that need doing to put her house on the market. Oh my goodness me, that is going to be a busy time for you. I think I keep saying to myself that we should do this, that a benefit would be acting as though we were going to sell the house and do things like have a declutter, of which I know there is plenty of things that can leave this house. It's just getting round to doing it and then actually getting them to go out the house rather than just moving to another place in the house. Isn't that always the problem? You have a big declutter. Sorry, I'm just taking my cardi off. You have a big declutter and then it's like, okay, what do I do with all this stuff now? And then once that's done, having a bit of a, you know, this needs touching up, this paint needs touching up, this needs clearing out, you know, we need to rearrange this room because that would look better. There are times when I think, you know, we should do that just as a sort of spring clean, should we say, but just in a way to sort of bring the house back to life again, I suppose. So yeah, I can imagine it is a very stressful time, but I am sure that you will get great benefit, you know, while you are waiting to sell and going through all that process as well from all the jobs that you do get done. You will get the benefit too. And then you get the whole new place and spaces to decorate. Excitement. Oh, Claire says she is watching me from holiday in Lanzarote. Ooh, very nice. I hope you are having a very nice time, getting time to relax and enjoy yourself, and obviously get some YouTube in while you're there. Blossom Chops, she says the stash video of mine, she says, was very motivational. She says after watching it, she went through all of her paintings using the Marie Kondo Sparks Joy system. She said she ended up culling 10 round paintings. She says the one square she was thinking of culling, she's already given to a friend, but just hadn't updated her logbook. She says she now has 2 rounds and 1 square from Kudiels and 3 paint gems. She says she thinks it is a good job that she has made some space. She says, but she definitely wasn't expecting it to fill up again so fast. Lady, there's a comment, there's comments on the comment as well, which is quite entertaining. Lady Dax says, you blamed me for your paint gem order. And Blossom Chops has said, well, you were the instigator. She wasn't looking. Love it. I love the fact that people in the group and on the channel do it to each other as much as they do it to me. The amount of times I get tagged in some of the new diamond paintings from Diamond Art Club by the same artist that did Cosmic Trip is unbelievable. And they are a couple that are on my wish list. They're gorgeous paintings. They just don't quite grab me the same way Cosmic Trip did. Not enough for me to break my watch what I'm spending rule. Or watch what I'm adding to my stash is more the rule than watch what I'm spending, because it's the adding to my stash I'm trying to control than necessarily how much they are. I want to get through a few of what I've got, which could last me ages, because I don't think I'm going to get through all of them within a week. the same way I did this one. Katrina, she says, what will be launching? Is that I'm guessing that's in relation to shop items. So we have a launch every month. The video will be up next week to show you what is launching for March, and any items that have already launched. There's a few items that will be stock items. So if we launch anything throughout the month, it is either a stock item, or if it is limited, maybe a seasonal item, we have enough stock to fulfill any orders before launch and during launch. So it'll be something that we have created, and we have designed and we make in-house. So those that want to order at the same time as launch can do, but those, you know, that may want it earlier or may not want launch items and therefore want to put their order in earlier can do. So that video is next weekend, and that will show you March items, but we tend to have a launch once a month, and we have a video the week before launch to show you, say, what will be launching or what new items have been added to the shop over the past month. But yeah, we have a few items in the works, some that hopefully will be up, say, maybe by the time this video goes up. I'm kind of hoping. Depends how much time I can carve out with Megan this weekend to just get the final bits to get it up on the website. And then, say, launch next week. So the limited edition items that once they're gone, they're gone. They get announced and released on a set time and date each month. So that's probably what I'm talking about launch. Also got quite a few other things in the pipeline, couple that I myself am quite excited about, that we will be launching soon. It will become a stock item. We need to get the stock shipped to us through customs, all that sort of palaver that comes with it. So I don't want to speak too early over what it is, because I don't know how long it is going to take to get here. Susan, she says she really loves Kenny. She says he's so cute. She says she can't wait to see him progress into the full painting. Well, there might be a few progress steps missing, but you will get to see him become the full painting. It is my plan to finish him today. I have 2 colours left, this one and one more. No multi-placing going on for this, so it'll give me a chance to get through comments, questions, and my general waffling on random topics. But he's looking so good. Susan says, choose what makes you happy. Thank you. The decision wheel makes me happy. I enjoy using the decision wheel. It's a little bit of fun, and yeah, levels of excitement depending on what it picks will always vary, but I'm still excited to do every painting. I'm just more excited when it picks some over others. Lady Knack, she says, great ideas for the decision wheel. She says, oh, Rebecca, she says, what are you going to do with your ABs? She says she's just put all her square ones back into a photo box, but it's not ideal. She says she can't wait to see what I have planned. Well, that video is up. I have moved my square ABs, only my square ones, into some small pots from Van Zel's. And I love it for the purposes of adding ABs to my paint gem paintings, which is the main time I use my spare ABs, is adding them to Van Zel's. I still haven't decided what I am going to do with my other ABs. At the moment, they're quite happily sat on book rings on my shelf, which has worked for all my other ABs. So I may just leave it at that and leave them sat there. Excuse me, because it does work for those, and it keeps them in one place. Right, letter V is done. So now I'm going to move on to my final letter for Kenny. Kenny the koala, and while it is not the letter K, it is next door. It's the letter L. Sarah says hello from Oxford. Hello, Sarah. Tony A. Stacey says hello. Said hope everybody is having a great day. They just wanted to say that they got their package and they love it. They said thank you so much. I am glad it has reached you safe and sound and brought a smile to your face, which is the excitement when things are sent out. Mary, she says, hi Rebecca. She said she just wanted to make a comment about making appointments. She says she's retired and very fortunate to be so. She says she tries to make her appointments through the week during working hours. So that leaves evening and a weekend times open for working folks. She says she's spent 30 plus years keeping a routine, a tight routine schedule during the week to be able to stay on track. She said particularly so once the kids came along. Definitely need a routine when kids come along. She said to have the luxury time, she says, to dawdle over a morning coffee is a great treat. Yes, I must admit that is a perk of working for myself. While I do try to stick to sort of working hours, doesn't always work, especially launch week and things, but I try to stick to sort of a finish by 5 kind of deal through the week. I will say in the morning I do enjoy dawdling over my coffee and keeping on top of admin, so I still feel like I'm being productive, but definitely get to dawdle. Unfortunately I don't get away with doing appointments in the week, mainly due to Luna, to be honest. Because I'm always home, it would actually be harder work for me to get her used to being left alone, because I would have to force myself to go out when I hardly ever go out in the week. So I just work it round and somebody else is home with her. She said, thanks for your WIP and waffles. They keep her company as I diamond paint. More than happy to keep anybody company diamond painting. That's why I tend to have now 2 WIP and waffles in my YouTube schedule per week. Sort of different themes-ish to each of them. But the WIP and waffles are always popular. And I enjoy doing them. I enjoy chatting to you all. I enjoy not having to, necessarily think up something different for a video. I can just get out a diamond paint and chat to you all. So I love it. Just takes longer than the other ones. Felicia says, hey Rebecca. She says, Felicia Davies, USA. She says your square placement is excellent. She says she is for the most part a single placer. And she says she'll follow my lead. Thank you. It is definitely practice. I've got pretty good at placing squares and or rounds fairly neatly. I definitely do it better with a single placer than I do with a multi. And that's evident in the fact that I do adjust a couple of diamonds on the sort of background as I'm going along. That one just a little bit too much, where I've multi-placed just to get them a little bit lined up and a little bit neater. But yeah, it definitely comes with practice, but also with being a bit fussy for things lining up right. Bev, she says, hey everyone. She said she did today's section of On the Last Day earlier, and she finished her 30 by 40 last night. She said, so instead of starting a new 30 by 40, she's decided to sort out some of her stash. There definitely seems to be some sort of spring cleaning of stash going on in the air. Whether that was fully instigated by my stash video or not, I don't know. But yeah, it's always good to start spring cleaning with things that make you smile. She says she's got 28 4-row boxes from Amazon, and she has been transferring her coaster sets from bottle cases into them. She says these will go in some storage boxes with other off the canvas items. She said so they will all be together, and it will be easier to grab if she wants to take something out and about with her. She says she hopes everyone has a great weekend ahead. I love having storage that works for however you work. Having storage that works in a way that suits you just makes everything so much nicer. Nicer and more enjoyable. Right, let's turn my tray around. Olivia, she says she rubs her eyes often too when she has mascara on, but she uses waterproof mascara, she said, which helps a little. She said she's tried tinting eyelashes, but she was blinking too much. Yes, it is very hard, especially when I'm sat in sort of the area where my lady does my lashes. She's extremely good in letting me know if she's moving about, you know, what she's doing, because I'm there sat in a chair with my eyes shut. But it is hard not to open my eyes. But I say I love the look, so 10 minutes of sitting like that is just the compromise that I need to make. Olivia also says she gets bad headaches when she doesn't drink enough. True. It's one of the first things I ask my kids if they've got a headache. Some Crafts says they are working through their older kits at the moment, and they have to say it has been quite satisfying. It's fun to see how their taste has changed, and very satisfying to get the older ones out of their stash. They also tend to be smaller ones, so it does feel like they're flying through it, which is kind of the idea that I like. Is, you know, quite a few of my older ones are potentially smaller. So I will be doing an update on my decision wheel once I've done my March logbook. I will be updating make sure all of my decision wheels are up to date, firstly, for large square, small square, large round, large square paintings, so those 4, and making a decision wheel with those on it. And also oldest in my stash, I don't think I want to put oldest in my stash as like something that could be picked multiple times, so I don't want to put it in all of my decision wheels, but I think I might put it in the decision wheel that chooses what type of diamond painting. So if it picks oldest in my stash, then I will have a look, and that will sort of, whichever is the oldest, no matter what category it's in, is the one I'll do. And I think that'll be quite fun, that's for sure. Olivia says she has a structure to the working weekday as she works full time. She says, but weekends are her downtime. She says, so not so much structure, not as much of a structure. She needs to de-stress after the previous long week. That's for sure. My weekends are definitely, things are completely out of kinker, and there's no sort of, this has got to be done by this time of day or any of that. But I do like my weekend sort of weekday routine. I do enjoy that. I think it's nice having a balance of the two. Right, Kenny is finished. That was actually quicker than maybe I thought it would be. I thought there was still quite a fair amount to do, but maybe, I say, because it's rounds, it's been a little bit confusing. There is still quite a few comments from last week's, so I will get to them next week when I work on a Paint Gem Mini. I'm going to work on, hopefully I'll have one of the doors to work on next week. But yeah, I finished another diamond painting. This is going to be good for updating my logbook. I can be like, tick, done. Paint Gem Retro, tick, done. For such a short month for February that just disappears, I'm quite proud to have got a couple done. It's a nice feeling. So I will de-kit him soon. I've slotted it into my YouTube schedule, so I will get him de-kitted and then I will kit my next big one up. But in the meantime, I am going to be working on Walking in the Rain, which is Thursday's WIP and Waffle. So join me for Thursday's WIP and Waffle, see how much, there's only a little bit of progress before that WIP and Waffle. But see how much I managed to get done last night, and yeah, we can get some more of that finished and get a little bit of progress on that while waiting for whatever may be next. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.